Hey, it's your boy Abdul Basit here, and welcome back to my channel F1 Racing Central, aka FRC. Now that I've done my Constructors Championship predictions, it's time for the Drivers Championship, and it will be pretty controversial. So, considering there will be no reserve drivers that will come in during the season, at number 20th, I'm going with Logan Sargent. Like I said in my previous video, he's just a rookie driver, and with the car I think Williams are going to make, he isn't going anywhere in terms of what he feels with the car. He will be in only 20th place, just competing at the back of the grid. It will be just a learning curve for him, and he will be getting 20th place, not higher than that. Going at number 19th, I'm going with Nick De Vries. Yes, a Formula E champion. You can always argue that he is a really talented driver, and he scored the points on his first F1 outing. In my opinion, with the AlphaTauri making a car that isn't capable of going any high up the grid, he will take time to adapt to the car. And coming on to number 18th, I'm going with Alex Albon. It's another controversial one, but with all the responsibility I think he will be having with the car development and steering the team into the right trajectory, I think he will be overburdened and he will be making driver errors here and there. But on a given day, I think he will be competing for the points, and even in qualifying, he can get into Q3 occasionally. But with the car that Williams will be going to develop, 18th is the maximum he can go, and arguably he can compete with 17th place driver, but I don't think Williams are going to make a great car. Coming on to number 17, I'm going with Yuki Tsunoda. Again, it's a controversial one, but we all know how impatient he is, and with all the responsibilities again coming on to him, I don't think he will be going anywhere. So 17th is maximum that he can achieve during this season. He can go lower than 17th, but higher, I don't think so he will be going any higher. In 16th, I'm keeping Pierre Gasly. Yes, this one is pretty controversial, and Pierre Gasly, I'm going with Pierre Gasly. It's just because what my heart says over here, that he can't go any high up the grid. It will be really close with Ocon all over the season, battling out lower the grid with Ocon. But it's we all know Ocon is already a pretty set driver in Alpine's car, and Alpine will be relying on him. He will take time obviously to get into the car and get up to the grips and challenge Ocon week in and week out. But still, it will be really difficult to beat Esteban Ocon in that car and in that team. In at number 15, I'm going with Esteban Ocon. It will be really close. Like I said, it will be really close between the two Alpine drivers, Pierre Gasly and Ocon. But I think Ocon is the guy who will be coming out on top. And with that said, I think Ocon knows the team within, and he has driven for the team since I guess 2020. Ocon knows the team inside, and he knows the car, how the car will behave on a certain track, what car developments they will be bringing, and Alpine will be relying a lot on Ocon's data rather than on Pierre Gasly's data. So coming on to number 14th now, it's again a pretty controversial one, but I'm going with Zhou. I think he will be painting those two really talented drivers with the rookie season done and dusted for him. Alfa Romeo will be expecting a lot from him, and Alfa Romeo will be knowing that he was the guy that he had an excellent rookie season with them. He is the guy who used to go into the right direction with Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas obviously coaching him during the Brazil GP about attacking Latifi during that turn 10 I guess it was. But he knows how to race now, and with the car he was on to grips with the car on his F1 race debut. But again, I think he will be beating those two really talented drivers of Alpine. Coming on to number 13th, I'm keeping Lance Stroll in that. Like I said in my previous video, Lance Stroll is a really good driver, but with Aston Martin and with Alonso, I think he will certainly have pressure. Being that experienced guy in the team, he already have done a great job with the team, but Alonso coming in, he won't be begging out with Lance Stroll. He will be saying that I deserve that number one place and number one driver status in that team. So I don't think he will be going any higher up the grid than 13th. 13th. So coming on to number 12th, I have Valtteri Bottas. It's Valtteri Bottas. It has to be Valtteri Bottas. He's extremely talented driver. He has all the experience with Mercedes and how to develop a car, and I think Valtteri Bottas will be in a great place to compete for 11th. But what I think is that he might struggle with the car a bit. You can argue that with the Pirelli tires this season, I think he's an old driver and he doesn't like understeer in the car. So that's why I'm going with Valtteri Bottas in number 12th. Coming on to number 12, number 11, it's going to be the Super Sub Nico Hülkenberg. I think for it will be main challenge for Bottas to beat this guy, but because he will obviously he will be returning after 3 years. Nico Hülkenberg can go high up the grid, but I don't think so. He can because of course 3 years absence in Formula One. He obviously has driven around 5 to 6 races during that time, but with these new cars and with the slower lap times and all, I think Nico Hülkenberg will take time to get into the grips of the car, and the team are going to favor K-Mag during this championship and car development and strategies. Going in number 10, I'm going with the great Fernando Alonso for Aston Martin. This guy knows how to beat any other driver on the track. It will be just down to the car that Aston Martin will be providing him. Alonso is the favorite for in a 10th. The team will be wanting him to deliver week in week out, and team will be relying on Fernando Alonso to go out there and beat those Haas guys, because obviously he's extremely talented, and they need to Aston Martin needs to work on Alonso's strategies. But I think he can't go any higher than 10th. But obviously he's a really talented driver, and I hope so it does does beat my expectations and go high up the grid in 9th or 8th place. And at number 9, I'm going with the K-Mag. This guy actually knows how to how the team works within, how the strategies works within, how the car development works with him. Everything he knows about the team. And looking at his 2022 season, I mean, it was just phenomenal. Getting 5th place on his return to F1, and just like Gunther Steiner said, fucking Viking comeback for K-Mag. It was really a Viking comeback for K-Mag, and how he has performed last year. He was the main guy that Haas relied on, considering Mick Schumacher's crashes and amount of errors Mick Schumacher made. So again, Haas will be relying on K-Mag's data and all of that to just develop the car in the right direction and compete for higher grade in next year in coming seasons. And at number 7 and 8, I'm going with the duo of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. I mean, this will be the battle to watch over the season. How these young guns challenge each other, and they will be knowing what to do and how to push each other. And it will be on McLaren's team management, who will also be tested, who to favor and who not to favor. I think what I think is that Lando Norris will be the one who will come out on top, and will be at number 7, and Oscar Piastri will be at 8th. But I guess it's just down to the fact that Lando Norris has been with the team since 2018 and 2019, and he was also their junior drivers in the academy. He's been in the team for a pretty long time. And now coming on to the fact that how the McLaren team works within, how to develop the car in the right direction, and what to expect from the strategy department, Lando Norris knows whole of it. So yes, this is what comes in the midfield and lower midfield. Now coming on to the big guns, and this is where the funs begin and things starts to get heated up. And at number 6, I'm going with Sergio Perez. I don't think so he can beat any other driver in the upper field. We have the likes of Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz. These are great drivers, Obviously, he is a great midfield driver. What I consider is a great midfield driver, but he won't be, there to be with Max, and given that Red Bull will be developing the car in the favor of Max Verstappen. So what I think is that Sergio Perez will be again struggling this whole season, and last year at the start, Checo was right up there with Max, and the data shows how his speed dropped down whole this season just because Red Bull started to develop the car in the direction where Max wanted the car to be, and that's why his speed started to fall down. So that's why I think he will be struggling against Max Verstappen and the likes of Sainz, Leclerc, or Russell, and even Hamilton. And at number 7, I'm going with Carlos Sainz. It is a pretty controversial thing to going with Carlos Sainz. I know that he is a really good driver and he has the ability to be high up the grid, but I don't think so he will be going any high up the grid, because again you have got likes of Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Russell, who will be pushing each other harder, and I think Ferrari will be favoring Leclerc. So I think for Carlos it will be main competition with Russell, I guess. But again, I think Carlos has struggled last season all in terms of in more powerful machinery. He struggled a lot last year, so I don't think so he will be going anywhere high up that 5th grade. And even beating Sergio Perez, it will be a bit difficult. But Again, I think he can beat Sergio Perez, but I don't think so. He will be competing with the top guns of F1. It's time for the big guns: Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, and Russell. And at number 4, I'm going with George Russell. It's just because, in my opinion, it would be Mercedes who will be saying to Russell that if they have a title challenging car, so let Hamilton win. Let Hamilton bias during the season, and Russell will be knowing that if Hamilton wins the championship, so he will be retiring from the team, I guess, and Mercedes won't be liking another inter-team rivalry again. And moreover, Russell will be taking notes from Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton will be teaching Russell to how to operate within the team and how to develop the car in the right direction, and how to make the car great, and how to just comfort your tires during the long stint. Furthermore, what I feel is that Max won't back off if he's racing with Russell, and it will be real threat to Russell's maiden championship. Max Verstappen will be the real threat for Russell's maiden championship. At number 3, again, it's a pretty controversial one, but I'm going with Max Verstappen. The budget cap weapon is Red Bull, and I don't think Red Bull will be making a car worthy of the championship. But again, we all know how good Max is. He will be getting through those high rank numbers, and he will be taking third place in the championship. He is already a 2-time world champion, obviously. Who doesn't know, and everyone knows how talented he is. But again, it's on the car that Red Bull will be providing, and him, considering that they have the decent package, he will be higher up the grid. But what I feel is that Max will be able to achieve third, not higher than that. Again, it's a really close between the top 3, but I'm going with Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc will be meeting Max this season. Obviously, he needs to take revenge, but he won't be winning his maiden championship. It's just down to the fact that, based on the rumors, that Ferrari will have a good car, and they have learned from their previous mistakes, and will be able to put in the good strategies that will favor Leclerc. But it is all on ifs. If they don't do it, so what will happen? Charles will be losing his maiden world championship. But for me, what I feel like, if he does beat Max Verstappen, it will be a big achievement for him to beat the guy like Verstappen, a double world champion. But it will be really close between the top 3 teams, top 3 drivers. Now that we are done with all the drivers, 19 of them, we are just left with one driver, the legend himself, the Sir Lewis Hamilton. He will be the world champion. I think he is going to take his 8th world championship and retire from the sport. He will love to do that, and that's what I expect from Mercedes and Hamilton. That they will do the same thing. Hamilton has all the support within the team and from both sides of the garage. Of course, he has done a lot for the team during those years, developed the car, winning those 6 championships within the team, taking the 2021 championship to last race, and just it's a pretty controversial statement, but Lewis Hamilton, of course, we all know he was robbed of the championship. But if he has the right package underneath him, I don't think so he won't be having any excuse. See you guys in my next video. Till then, goodbye, and do subscribe.